Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm the Toy Sheik, and today we're gonna have a chat about one of my favorite shows of all time. Show that I watch, I mean, it's always on. It's white noise at this point. I literally went to sleep to this the other day. Do you have a show like that? Maybe a movie? Anything you watch all the time so much that you've just lost track of anymore? We're gonna talk about one of mine today, as well as going over the toys that have been released during the lifetime of this amazing IP. That's all coming up right now, but first off, we need to get into a little shop maintenance just real quick, because I've been meaning to do this for the last few videos. A couple videos ago, we did have a cereal video where I ate a 30-plus-year-old box of cereal. Well, bowl of cereal. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check that video out. It's awesome. But we did have a giveaway on that video, and we got to give away that prize to the person who commented. Thank you so much, Mark E. Roth. Please, come on down. So, Mark E. Roth, you can just hit me up in the email that's going to be down in the description box below. Let me know if you would just like to have the box or the box in the contents, and I'll get that right out to you. Thank you so much for participating. You, sir, are a legend. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. We're talking about that Disney giant that still sticks into our heart. We're talking about it all the time. Major fandom. It's going to be Disney's DuckTales. Hit it with that intro right there. We can't have the music on, copyright issues, but you guys already know. You see the intro, you're already humming in your head, you know what it's about. Ah, that's classic right there. 1987, debuting with this amazing cartoon series that ran for 4 seasons. I want to say it was like 87 to 90, where then you would start to see it on Disney afternoons in the 1990s. That powerhouse that just could hypnotize any child during the 90s with so many great shows that came out. I mean, they had Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Gummy Bears, which I want to say is like maybe the first Disney afternoon show, and then like DuckTales maybe it was like second. But man, DuckTales was a huge show for everybody. Definitely showing me my weird fascination with cartoon ducks. I don't know what the fuck that's about. I mean, I guess I always like old school ducks. Like there's Donald Duck, you had Huey, Dewey, Louie. Yo, you had classic Christmas Carol Scrooge. Yo, that's right there. Then let's not forget about Daffy Duck, Duck Dodgers, Darkwing Duck. Man, get out of here. That shit is fire right there. That's fine. All of them. I don't know what it is. As long as they're cartoon ducks. No live action ducks. I'm talking about you, Howard the Duck. That is terrifying. But DuckTales was everywhere. Plushies, birthday stuff, costumes. Like it was a powerhouse that was taking over. But you know what they didn't have during all that time? They were still waiting decades for, as a proper action figure toy line of freaking DuckTales. Like, how did they miss that? It's literally like printing money. We're still waiting for that for today. So let's go over what we received during that time. Let's get into that. 1988, McDonald's does a wonderful cross promotion with Disney to release these 4-figure set from, you guys remember them. I mean, this was the quintessential Scrooge McDuck I had in my collection whenever I played with like my Mask and Battle Beast, the miniature figures, because again, they're small. But this is all we had at the time, so we took these. When McDonald's was killing it with their fast food toys, by the way. I mean, there's so many cool ones during that time. So we have our DuckTales figures there. It wouldn't be till 1990 where we would actually get some US release figures that we could say were a version of a Disney afternoon toy that we would like to play with. There were a few. In 1990, the German toy manufacturer known by Simba Toys, one of German's largest toy makers, by the way, produced a line of Disney figures with the title card of Disney Family. There was maybe about 10 figures released in a 4-inch flocked scale. They came on a window box, cellophane window box style box. Really, really cool. About 4 points of articulation. I've always wanted them. They look really, really good. I think they're probably the best version of figures, almost like a Mego style of the Disney characters. They did have some figures that have never still been released till this day. As you can see here, we're going through the pictures of them. They have Gyro, from DuckTales. You could get a Beagle Boy, which still hasn't been released, any Beagle Boys into a action figure format. So this was a German one, so you know, no one knew about these ones, obviously. You can find these ones online. They are pretty pricey, but I think these are really, really great. They did do a card change a little bit later on that had the DuckTales logo on them and re-release the DuckTales figures on that, so you could get those carded figures as well. Really, really cool. I love the flocked aspect of it, and you can also get some of the main Disney characters as well as these DuckTales ones that came out in that series. As well as being in 1990, we would get the Just Toys Bend-Ems, which Bend-Ems have always been kind of big back then for like niche lines, small toy lines, or you know, heroes and stuff. They were trying to make it. They couldn't get that huge funding. They would have like Bend-Ems. So Just Toys had a 6-figure line of Bend-Ems where they also released a Beagle Boy in there. And that would have been one of the first times that we would have got a Beagle Boy in a US release. But again, no articulation, so that doesn't really help us there. So then, in 1990, the Disney company releases their own PVC style miniature figures for the Disney Afternoon. You could get this 4-pack box here in store, but on the back was a cross sale with Kellogg's to produce 16 additional figures to complete your set of Disney Afternoon characters. Now during this time, known as the Disney Kellogg's Alliance, tons of cross sale, tons of prizes, giveaways, advertising between both companies to push the Disney Afternoon out there so we could just ingest it as these little kids sponges, loving everything that they put out, and we did. But we only got these PVC figures again. I remember the Gizmo Duck. Gizmo Duck is a character that just, he's always done dirty. I need a Gizmo Duck figure. He's like RoboCop Duck. And this is our first version we could have got, was in this PVC style. I think I still have this one in like my loose figures from when I was a kid or whatever, but I remember finding him in the box of cereals. They came in Kellogg cereals and whatnot. So man, even cereal toys suck nowadays. Dude, do you remember how many cool cereal premiums were provided inside those boxes? It's just so ridiculous. But anyway, so we have the PVCs, we have the Simba toys, and then we have the McDonald's toys. Still no action figures, and that freaking blows. It wouldn't be till 1991 when Playmates would come through with some Disney Afternoon figure. We do have Darkwing Duck. This is the only character I do have from that Playmates line, but it's the only one I need. It's Darkwing Duck, although I would love to have the Thunderquack. As well as with the Tailspin line, they did produce the Sea Duck, which is the yellow plane that they would fly. That I very much, in my head, the lore of the DuckTales plane, also known as the Sun Chaser, that Launchpad McQuack flies. Those planes, both yellow, they always, like, to me, were like the same plane. And so I've always wanted to have that Tailspin plane to go with my figures. But that's all we'd have. Playmates, we're not talking about Darkwing Duck, we're not talking about Tailspin, but those lines are out there. They're absolutely fantastic. Playmates did us dirty. They didn't give us a DuckTale line. I'm very upset about it. But that is all. We're done. We don't get no more figures and nothing besides little plushies and stuff. Now, we get a new version of DuckTales that comes out on the Disney Channel, and that is the Quack Pack, if you guys don't know about it. It is a good show as well. It shows Huey, Dewey, and Louie grown up. Webby's also grown up. They all like her. She's all sexy and stuff like that. But this show's pretty good as well. I don't have the whole seasons of these. This is the only one I've ever found. But that was like the new version, and it wouldn't be no figures and stuff also released still during that time. Now, it would not be until current date 2017 when Disney would once again revisit the DuckTales, bringing it back for the first time since the vintage cartoon was taken off of syndication. And we do have what we're going to talk about today, the line that I do have to show you, because we finally have an action figure line of DuckTales to show off. And before I had even seen this show, I saw these figures on the shelves and I scooped them up right away, because anything DuckTales we just eat up. That's what I'm saying. It's just printing money. So let's talk about this line. It came out in 2018, a year after the show was already on air. And this show was really great at filling in the storylines, connecting all the Disney Afternoon shows. And the company I'm talking about, they finally delivered on all our wishes that we want for at least now. And that is going to be Fat Mojo DuckTales line Series 1. This is the only series they did have. They did have a second series planned with a whole other line of figures, as well as a freaking Gizmo Duck. I'm gonna have to show a picture of that right here. So they did show that they were going to release a second series of these figures with a lot more variants of the characters, as well as new characters added, new planes and stuff like that. But we did not get that. The line was canceled before they could come out. Now on this, you do have, I think, 6 figures. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 figures here. Obviously, you have 10 figures since they doubled up on the kids. But you do have Scrooge McDuck, Donald, Launchpad, and Flintheart Glumgold. He's the only one I don't have. The character's fine in the show. He's great. I don't need him. Whatever. I've had a couple sets of these and I've gotten rid of them. This is the only one I have because I wanted to have them open. They have very limited articulation. 4 points, 5 points, since his head like swivels too. So, but these are the only version of DuckTales we have, and this is not the only one I'm going to show you. So this is the classic Scrooge McDuck. So he doesn't have his DuckTales from Disney Afternoon's blue outfit on. This is more so, I want to say, like in line with like his old school comic book. I think I remember him having a red costume. So anyway, we have Scrooge McDuck. We have Donald Duck. He's really awesome too. Awesome to have a nice Donald figure. And then we do have, he's the doofus, but he's an expert pilot in every show. Like if you need a mission done, you gotta get Launchpad McQuack. Like, man, DuckTales, they have a couple of episodes that like flesh out his character and show his family and stuff and show where he comes from. And I always like this character, and I love that he's intertwined with like Darkwing Duck, DuckTales. Gosh dang it, I think I even see him in another thing, but I can't remember what it's called right now. But anyways, Launchpad McQuack, gotta have him. You also would get a different character if you got the Sun Chaser plane that was released in this line. I don't have that anymore. They also released the Money Pit. It was really small though. If it was large, I would still have it, but it was very small to house the miniature figures that were released in a PVC style format, just like the old school. They had like 8 figures that were released or whatnot of the DuckTale ones, and so the Money Pit would house those, but it didn't house these normal figures. Although the Sun Chaser would house the normal figures, it was not very good quality, so I took those back. Man, they went on clearance for nothing, so I remember buying like so many sets of them. So here we go, we got the 2 kids right there, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby, and so cool to have these figures as well. Man, I wanted to get, like I said, I had a second set so I could open them up and whatnot and put them on display, because they really do look good all on display and whatnot, but they have such limited articulation. They look fine here. It's great to just have these ones. These are all the figures that were released besides the Flintheart that were released that you could have gotten during that time. There was a Fenton figure who is the figure that goes into Gizmo Duck to create Gizmo Duck. He's the normal human character, so you could get him. After the line was canceled, there was an employee who did get a box of those, and he had them on eBay for a while. I remember you can still kind of find them. They're not like too expensive, like $20 or whatever. But he's really small because he's like miniature, because he fits in the Gizmo Duck, so he doesn't fit in scale with these figures, so I never picked him up. But they had a lot of really good figures. Magic of the Spell. Man, so many characters that they get in release. So very disheartened that the second series did not come out. But that's all we got for action figures. Are these Fat Mojo ones here. Absolutely fantastic. And the show, if you guys have not checked it out. So before, like I was saying, I got these figures before I even saw the show. I was definitely against the show since I'm super into the vintage. But after watching just one episode of the new show, I was absolutely sucked in. I love it so much. If you guys have a chance to watch it, please do. I know you can get the DVD, but you have to look for it online. Just like a lot of the modern shows, they're all released in like 4-episode formats, so you have to kind of buy them that way, and I hate buying shows like that. So I definitely would like to watch it. I haven't seen all the seasons. I've seen like maybe 1.5, and they are fantastic. They intertwine all the Disney Afternoon cartoons into the storyline. It's really great. Darkwing Duck's in there, Tailspin's in there. They flesh out a lot of the characters. It is really, really good. I don't know if old writers and creators that worked on the original did work on the new one, but they did an absolutely fantastic job. I do love the voices that are in the shows for that. So I was absolutely blown away, and dare I say this, since this show is about the vintage DuckTales, I think the new one is better. It's so funny. Like, I absolutely love it. The only reason I don't have it to watch all the time is just because it's really hard to find on DVD, because Disney's like stingy with their new stuff. So definitely recommend you guys checking it out. It is really, really great. And I hope that someone eventually picks up the DuckTales toy line and gives us something new. Super 7, I'm waiting on that. for their Ultimates line. I also would love to see NECA if they did like a Gargoyle style cartoon. I already know they killed that, so they would definitely nail a DuckTales figure line if they could do that. But anybody, please give us some DuckTales figures. This is absolutely crazy. We're clamoring for this so much, especially me. There's dude, DuckTales, Muppets. I'm done with those. Like, I have to have those. I have to have those. So thank you, Disney, for at least giving us something great before you fell to ruins. Much appreciation for that, and much appreciation for you guys checking this out. I hope you guys liked it. If you didn't ever see these figures by Fat Mojo, go check them out now. They're kind of expensive for what they are now, as I kind of knew they would be because there's no merchandise for this kind of stuff. They're probably around like $30-something each for these figures if you can pick them up now. Check them out on eBay. There's a lot of listings. They don't really do much, but they look really good on display, and that's all we got for now. Get out there, show your love for DuckTales. I need some more shirts. I need some clothing. I need some DuckTales shirts. I was really mad I didn't have one to put on for this show. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys liked it. Hit that like button if you did. Hit that subscribe if you are new. We do all kinds of toy stuff today. We're checking out some toy and movie awesomeness, and I appreciate you guys sticking around. So until next time, my name is Mark. I'm the Toy Chic. Mad love, geek out. See you guys on the next episode.